Well, I'm Margaret, and sort of like Melissa, I grew up on the farm, and my mother was really very much into this kind of thing, and it was kind of passed down from her mother. And I think that there was a lot that unfortunately sort of got lost in the shift, but some of the more common things certainly my mom taught me, and this was a big part of what we ate when I was growing up. And one of the things that my mom always liked about anything that she could get growing wild was she didn't have to take the time to grow it and to take care of it. It was just wonderful bounty. So, so anyway, and I mean, it's something that I love to do. And I love being in the woods, and I love just watching the seasons and how they change. And, we'll touch on some of those things as we go. So, just the very beginning. I mean, if we all kind of wanted to, I mean, we are basically, we're in a very sacred world here. I mean, we're really in the plant world today. And it's really something that I think, and, that we take very seriously. We want to be able to sustain that world, not take too much, just come out and leave things the best that we can leave them, and to ask permission and to give thanks. And that's really important. I think that it's such a wonderful spiritual place to be. So I think I wanted to make that first and foremost. So you might want to say a little.
Remember the Tuesday Green Up Day.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, and then down to the nitty gritty. There are some plant wild edible guides that you can buy, field guides. Newcomb's is a good one. There again, just look around, and I think that that's something that anybody who's foraging should even have. It doesn't hurt to have more than one copy, so that you can compare.
Cross-reference.
Cross-reference.
Something always has something that the other one doesn't. And,
yeah. And certainly if you have somebody that can kind of mentor you in this, that's a great thing. But, there's a lot of good information too over the internet, but, there again, make sure you cross-reference that, because some of the information obviously isn't good. But, and I like the Wildflower Guide. I carry that one as well.
Patterson's.
That's a good one. And mushrooming, we're not going to really get into a whole lot of that today. This is morel season. And we're yet to.
Margaret's been looking for.
Oh my goodness! It's like, oh.
The trees are late, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
harder to find.
Yes. So I don't know if it's just a little bit too early, but anyway, we haven't seen any yet. But maybe we'll be lucky and see something today. But they're hard to spot too. They're very hard to spot. So the other thing that I also want to talk to you about, that we'll kind of go over quite a bit, is where plants grow. And that's one of the things. It's like, if you know where plants are likely to be, that helps in your identification. So, know where your moist, rich woodland plants are going to be growing. Know where those are going to be growing in your fields or disturbed land, places like in your garden, places that have been disturbed, log landings, that kind of thing, or in wet, marshy, swampy areas. So, that's a good thing to familiarize yourself with. So, make a point of that. And then the other thing I want to talk about is visiting these plants in all the different seasons and kind of keeping track of them. And that's another wonderful way to identify. Like, for instance, your ramps, they're like your wildly, kind of a wild onion. And what happens with them right now, they have their nice leaves, and a little while later, these leaves are going to shrivel down fairly soon, within probably another month. And then they're going to, so you're not even hardly going to see the leaves, but they're going to spike up a little flower, and they're going to bloom. So, and then later on, from there, you can actually find the little berries that might be laying in the, sort of around in the forest floor. And those kinds of things kind of help you to identify. They help you to know where those plants are and where they're going to be, that sort of thing. Fiddleheads was another one, and we'll talk about those. And there's actually the frond that a fiddlehead fern is very distinguishable. And we'll talk about that when we go to the fiddleheads. And when you see those in the fall or even in the winter, early winter, you'll just like, oh, okay, I need to come back here next year for my fiddleheads, you know?
Some
So-
right side of the room here.
So